I survived 100 days of hardcore Minecraft in an ocean-only world. This means that there's no land, no trees, no villages, and you're constantly in danger. I mean constantly in danger. And if you mix in a limited supply of food, you realize how difficult this is going to be. This forces you to change the way you play Minecraft, and with that, you go on some very interesting adventures and make new discoveries. With that being said, I set myself 3 goals for this series. The first one being I want to defeat the Ender Dragon, and with that, collect the Elytra. After this, I'd like to get fully enchanted netherite armor and tools. And last but not least, I want to build my very own village with its own citizens. If this sounds like fun, be sure to stick around to the very end. But with that being said, let's get started. And so the 100 days begin. Luckily, I spawned right beside a shipwreck, which meant that I was able to get wood from the very beginning. But as I was getting the oak logs, I kept on drowning each time, which wasn't very good. But eventually, I managed to gather enough wood to craft a crafting table and then also some oak doors, which were going to be useful as that allowed me to breathe under the water. Then I continued getting more wood so that I was able to craft some basic tools such as a wooden pickaxe. My priority was to get some stone tools, so I set out to get some cobblestone. Whilst doing that, I spotted some coal right beside, so I went over and got it. Then I got my hands on a stone axe, which not only would be good for chopping down wood, but also getting food. Killing fish was just about the only thing that I could do at this point to get that. I needed to regenerate my health as quickly as possible. I saw that malicious look that this puffer fish gave me. I ate some fish and I was able to regenerate just a little bit, but I was gonna need a lot more food in this. I remember that I saw iron, so I took my stone pickaxe and got a little bit of that. Then I set up a small cobblestone platform just to sort out my inventory, and after I went down to the shipwreck to finally see what was in the chest. And I got a little bit of iron and emeralds, which is definitely a decent start. And me and Mr. Pufferfish meet again already, and I feel like there's going to be a lot more encounters like this. To make matters even worse, I got attacked by this drowned, but fortunately I had the high ground on him and took him out without a problem. But now that night came around, I needed to add an extra layer of protection, so I crafted up a shield and checked what was in the other chest. It was just a bit of paper. I could tell that food shortages are going to be a big deal in this series. After some successful combat against the drowns, I explored the ocean and found another shipwreck, and there I found bamboo and potatoes, which is going to be great. Damn, good thing that I built the shield, because without that I would be kind of screwed fighting against this drowned with a trident. These guys just wouldn't leave me alone. Underwater, I found a ruined portal, and not only with 1 block of gold, but 2 blocks of gold. I was rolling. But apart from this, I was just searching the area. I was finding shipwrecks, and the chests within them had stuff like books, paper, and a ton of carrots and other sources of food. This was going to be useful further down the line. Eventually, I found a spot that looked decent, and this was going to be what I called home. And just to greet me, the shipwreck below had a diamond, which was... I mean, I'll take it. It's a free diamond, I guess. One of the safest places in this series is going to be under the ground, particularly strip mining. I was finding a bunch of useful ores, such as coal, iron, and then later down the line, I found some lapis as well. And you can never say no to some redstone. As I'm casually minding my own business, I found gold, get excited, and right beside it are diamonds. Excited me started mining them, and it turned out to be a vein of 4. A very positive start to this series. After surfacing back up to the top, I noticed that there was an intruder in my base, and I took care of him. Then I crafted a diamond pickaxe, and shortly after that a diamond sword, as well as some new armor. Then I was back in the mines, and I was finding more precious ores, but the most precious thing out of all of that was dirt. That was going to be extremely difficult to get, as the only way to get it is either underwater, which is going to be inefficient, or underground. So I made sure that I got every single bit of dirt I could have. And before you know it, I was finding more diamonds. This right here was a vein of 9, which last time I checked is pretty rare to get in Minecraft. Right, this isn't even funny anymore. Stop with the diamonds. I was such a big baller that I crafted up a diamond chest plate. Boom. Flex on that. Unfortunately, the flexing didn't really last long because I got attacked by phantoms. That's right, I didn't sleep for the full 5 nights. I have no will. So I needed to fight these, and little did I know that I was gonna be encountering them many more times. At night, I took my treasure maps and went on a little journey. I felt like a useless citizen not being able to find the treasure, but eventually I fell down into one of the caves. There I had to battle zombies, skeletons, and after this, creepers. It wasn't very fun, not gonna lie. When I surfaced back up to the top, I decided to randomly destroy the block beside me, and to my surprise, the chest was right there. But anyways, I found a heart of sea there, and blah blah blah, some other stuff. Let's actually start building now. So after I finished my beautiful Italian marble house, I planted some seeds beside it because I needed food and potatoes were my best option at that point. The phantoms could please just go away. On day number 8, I decided to build some small platforms. This is where my mob spawner was going to be, and this is where I'm going to plant carrots, potatoes, and bamboo. Here's me building an absolute marvelous cobblestone port. I need to find a bed ASAP. Fortunately, when I went to do some more strip mining, I found a mine shaft, and here I was able to collect all the webs that I needed to make wool. In addition, I was able to collect some extra wood and also found a chest. Unfortunately, that didn't really have anything good in it. Ironic how when I crafted the bed, I was getting chased by phantoms. Luckily, this was going to be my last encounter for a while because I was finally able to sleep. On day number 11, after crafting the bed, I was finally comfortable moving into my new base. After this, I went around traveling around the map because I needed to find more shipwrecks. This was so that I could get as much paper as possible because then I'd be able to get a full enchantment table. These drowns just teamed up on me. They really wanted me dead. And so did this guy with a trident. I tried to kill him in hopes that he dropped me it, but he didn't. Back at the gaff, I was smelting up some of the good stuff. All of the iron, gold, and any remaining food that I had left. After this, I wrapped everything up. I moved it all into my new house. After I sent out a party invitation, Luke decided to turn up, the wandering trader. However, the only good thing that he had was some melon seeds. So I kicked him out because, I mean, come on, man, you gotta have something better. I took his llamas and then put them in the water. It didn't really look too good, but that's where they're gonna live for the next bit. Back strip mining and back to finding more diamonds. I was gonna need them because I really wanted a full diamond set of armor. I also found another mine shaft and another chest. Unfortunately, I didn't really find anything too useful. And look, more diamonds. Very nice. I gathered some obsidian from the enchantment table and also a nether portal. And then I was doing some usual labor, harvesting potatoes and collecting bamboo that I planted earlier on. I didn't have enough paper for the bookshelf, so went out exploring more shipwrecks. Now that I had the paper, I needed to come up with a way to find leather. I only had 2 bits, and because there's no cows, I needed to improvise. The very first thing I did was killed some of the llamas because, leather. I'm sorry. Alright, I'm sorry. But then I went into the nether, and essentially I was going to trade with the piglins. I said it right this time. Essentially, I lured them into a hole. There, I was going to feed them gold, and they were going to give me all the ender pearls, and especially leather. After spending like 2 stacks of gold and only getting 4 ender pearls, I went back home, but at least I did get quite a bit of leather, and I was able to make the required 15 bookshelves for the enchantment table. Now I had to actually build it, but I didn't just want to build any enchantment room. I wanted to build it underwater, just to keep up with the theme. So basically, I made a quick little water elevator using soul sand. It worked absolutely astonishingly. But after that, I started building the underwater room. That was based off of bookshelves and glass. I made a second elevator, this one putting me under the water. And then I finished off the enchantment room, and that looked lit. I enchanted my pickaxe, wasn't that happy with it, so I enchanted it again and I got Fortune 2, which was a pretty decent pick. I also then enchanted boots for protection 3. Then I moved down into the caves to test out my new gear, and I found more diamonds. Talking of finding things, here's a cave spider spawner. This is going to be so good for XP. I enchanted my chest plate, but it wasn't that good. Look, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm not surprised. Let's spice up my base. This little bamboo platform. I thought it was going to look kind of cool, and it's going to save us a lot of wood on sticks. Then I planted some carrots, crafted up some diamond gear, got ready to build a mob spawner, and that's exactly what I was doing. This mob farm is going to have 3 layers to it, so it should be pretty efficient. Except it wasn't really, like, there wasn't any mobs spawning. Oops. On the upside, I found a zombie villager, so I took him out of the spawner, and then I tried to give him a shovel so that he wouldn't despawn. Unfortunately, he didn't pick it up, so I had to kill him. I needed to get better gear, so I enchanted some leggings, another pickaxe, which was kind of bad, so I'm just gonna scrap that, and then a chest plate, which got protection 3 in all of them, which means we have pretty OP armor. Back underground, I found a zombie spawner this time. They really didn't want to let me get to it, though, but I fought them in the the end. And in the chest, nothing too special apart from a name tag. I'll take that. I discovered another cave spider spawner right beside the original spawner. This is probably going to be a better one to make a farm out of. I enchanted another pickaxe, but this time we actually got semi-decent enchantments on it. I was going to combine this one with my original pickaxe. And then I got looting 3 and sharpness 3 on my sword. That was perfect. I wanted to see if I could get some more ender pearls, so I traded with the piglins, and however, they only gave me 2 ender pearls. Did not have luck at all. Here was me desperately waiting for a wandering trader to spawn so that I could get some oak saplings and sugarcane, because I was going to need that for fireworks later on. Over long periods of time, the mob spawner actually did generate a decent bit of loot, so I tried to use that as much as I could. But I needed to get a more efficient source, so I went down to the cave spider spawner and started building the farm. I found some diamonds on the way, surprisingly. This wasn't going to be anything too complicated. I tried to keep it simple, but the spiders didn't, and they caused me a lot of pain. Yeah, they really didn't want to be farmed at all. Just let me live, please. Eventually, it was done. And I'm not gonna lie, it was worth it because it worked like a dream. I was getting a ton of XP and also spiderweb, so I basically had unlimited will for the rest of my life. So I just spent some time AFKing there. With the XP, I enchanted my axe, which gave me a decent enchantment. Fortune 3, efficiency, and unbreaking. Very good. And I enchanted another sword with smite 4. And also a diamond shovel. Time to combine 2 pickaxes to make one OP one. Oceanus. And then sugarcane. I chose smite over sharpness because my brother told me to do so. Then I got prepared for some nether adventures. And let's just say I was prepared to take some risks here. Aim of this was to find a nether fortress because I needed blaze rods. So I went one way and I had to battle this enderman. I got way too low for my liking, but still no sign of a nether fortress. Where is it? What I did find though is a nether portal and some gold in it. And in the chest was a golden apple. And this was an absolutely huge discovery. This meant that we're now almost able to turn a zombie villager into an actual villager. This was an absolute huge discovery. Before that, I needed to battle more endermans, but I didn't mind because the looting 3 sword gave me a lot of ender pearls. Then I just got a bunch of wood and some glow shrooms, roost rooms, blah blah, I don't know. Time to go back to my base and quickly resupply. The ghast didn't make my life any easier. This took me an absolute ton of time to battle this individual ghast, and I couldn't even hit him with a bow. I'm literally trash. Taking more risks here. And after so much traveling of the corner of my eye, I finally spot a nether fortress. I go into it and we finally found one after such a long time of searching. I headed straight into the blaze spawner and there was a lot of them waiting for me, but I didn't mind because I needed all the blaze rods that I could get. My looting 3 sword made it much easier to get them as well. And then I had to fight these wither skeletons, but smite 4 wasn't a problem whatsoever. I found nether wart, which is going to be huge. We can now make all the potions that we basically want. And then I wandered around the fortress looking for some loot in chests and that sort of stuff. But after a while, I didn't really find anything too interesting and I headed back home. Now, the plan right now was to head over to the stronghold. I wasn't going to fight the ender dragon just yet though. I only wanted to get there to take all the books from the library and also try to find more apples so that I could turn another zombie villager into a normal villager. That way I could breed both of them. After some searching, I found the actual portal. Conveniently, it had none of the ender eyes in it. But right next to it, I found the library and I cleared it all out. And by all, I mean I cleared out everything, every single bookshelf. As I was away to leave disappointed, I found this chest and here was 3 apples. I was absolutely thrilled at this point and never so excited after finding apples in a chest. I left these books though, I already had enough. Just look at the amount of books. Holy cow. Yeah, my mob farm was kind of embarrassing to be honest. Using all of the wood that I found in the nether, I decorated my island a little bit. I added some outlines, I added some lights just to spice things up on the island. I found these elevators really satisfying to use. I just kind of looked cool underwater. I enchanted my bow here and then a little bit more AFKing at the spider farm. Day 53 to 57 were vastly spent underground. I was getting more materials and found more diamonds surprisingly, and then carried out further renovations on my island, and I think this new port looked kind of cool. It was unique at least, and I also made a melon and pumpkin farm right beside it. I changed the positioning of the portal and I put it on the side of my base, and I think they look kind of cool. And then I took care of some of the details, such as changed the roof lining and also added some crying obsidian as the pillars of the house. I had enough of my old and inefficient mob farm, so I decided to build a completely new one up in the air so that more mobs spawn. And yes, indeed, from the very beginning, as soon as it started working, I could tell that this is way more effective. Let's just take a second to appreciate how I didn't die over here. I don't know where my mind was and why I did that. That was stupid. Then I created some splash potions of weakness, and all that was so that I could find a zombie villager. I AFK'd there until I found one. I was super excited. I threw the splash potion, gave him the golden apple, and then waited for him to turn into the villager. After this, I needed to get him down very safely, so I made sure to take care. And what are you doing? Honestly, I am so thankful that he jumped into the water instead of landing on land, because if he died, I wouldn't be able to live with this. I made him a little slave house, a hut, and then I named him Bill, because why not? Something told me that it was the right time to now go and fight the Ender Dragon, so I prepared for battle, made fireworks for when I get the Elytra after I defeat the Ender Dragon, went to the portal, added all the Eyes of Ender, and it was time to start. I was now in the end and fighting the Ender Dragon. First thing was obviously to get rid of all the crystals, so I did exactly that, and the dragon didn't like it at all. But I didn't resist, and I showed him no mercy. But he kept on flying away as soon as he went down to the ground. I don't know what was going on there. But after a tough battle, I finally took the last shot and defeated the Ender Dragon. And just like that, we completed one of the 3 challenges in this series so far. And I'm just waiting for this absolute heavenly rain of XP to enter my body. That didn't really sound right. Anyways, I took the egg and there was no time to waste. I headed straight into the end cities, and I was praying that I was gonna get the end ship pretty close by. And after some traveling and taking this extremely risky move, luckily I didn't die there, I found an end city literally 10 minutes after exploring, and not only one, there was 2 beside each other, and each of these had an end ship, so this was incredibly lucky from my side. I built up the top, had to fight the shulker, but I'm a boss at this anyway, so I just didn't care. I got him, I killed him. I headed straight for the Elytra there. I killed the shulker guarding it, and I collected it. And this was going to be game-changing because this opens up a whole new range of possibilities. The chest beside it had decent loot, but nothing too special. I collected the dragon head as a trophy because I need it, and then I went to collect the second Elytra because having 2 will never hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Better to have 2 than 1. The loot there was actually a little bit better. I managed to get a pickaxe with mending on it and some beetroot seeds, which was going to be great. I headed into the actual end city itself, killed some of the shulkers, and collected more loot, but it wasn't too great. I didn't want to spend too much time there because I didn't have to, so I came back home. And look at this pufferfish. Go away. I was enchanting with the levels, and look at this absolutely OP helmet that I got. I got decent enchantments on the other stuff, and the rest of my XP I just burnt by enchanting a lot of books. I combined one of the mending pickaxes to make one. This was going to be my backup one because I was going to get some mending books from my villager, Bill. He's going to help me out with this one. It took me a while to get him to cooperate, I'm not going to lie. He's a pretty lazy guy, but eventually I got him to actually change his trades, and he made me spend a lot of time to actually get this one mending book. But when I eventually got it, I did not hold myself back. I literally bought as many books as I could possibly get. His discounted price was just simply too good. I got a whole bunch of mending books and applied it to basically almost every bit of gear and armor. Now I wanted to get Bill a partner, so I AFK'd at my efficient mob farm in the hopes that I would get another zombie villager, and after a long time, one finally came down, so I cured him and brought him down to Bill. Hopefully they were gonna get along together, because if they weren't, then I'd force them to. So yeah, I locked him up with Bill. I mean, I extended their house, because I'm a good person. I abide by the housing standards, okay? Look at these beautiful windows. I placed some more beds for mass reproduction, but no pressure. And then I went back to the nether. I wanted to collect more wood. However, the hoglins didn't really make it easy for me. They started chasing me and things actually got pretty serious. I was really scared at this point. I was getting chased by hoglins, attacked by skeletons and ghasts, and I got down to pretty low health, and I really didn't know what to do. I thought I was gonna die here and everything was gonna end. I was running for my life, my hands were shaking, but eventually I made it back and I went back to safety. And I relaxed a little bit by collecting some resources. And holy cow, I didn't know that placing some beds and giving the villagers some food would literally lead them to mass produce. AFKing at the farm, and I was kind of running out of time, so I needed to get netherite as fast as possible. Luckily, luck was on my side, and even just by strip mining, I was finding a decent bit of ancient debris. I collected sand and used all the gunpowder that I got from my farms to create like almost 2 stacks of TNT, and I started absolutely bombing the hell out of the bottom of the nether. And we were finding ancient debris at a pretty effective rate. Unfortunately, everything that's good has to stop eventually, and I ran out of TNT. This forced me to literally have to use my pickaxe to find the rest of the ancient debris, and I still needed to get around 7 more pieces. To repair my pickaxe, all I had to do was destroy some quartz, and that would fix it because I have mending on it. But after 10 days, I finally managed to get the 36 bits of ancient debris that were needed for a full netherite set. And look at these lovebirds. I melted all the ancient debris into netherite scraps and combined it with gold to make some ingots. Then I started turning all of my gear into netherite, and yes, this time that is including the hoe. Technically, we did say full enchanted set, so just gotta flex on them like this. This looks so clean. Almost forgot about fishing, which would be kind of embarrassing how this is an ocean-only world. It was really good to see all of the villagers having a lot of fun over here. And look at these little baby ones, so cute. But all of them have to work somewhere. That's why I'm gonna make this trading hall over here. This isn't gonna be anything fancy. I just wanted to look semi-decent and be fully functional. And overall, I think this looks kind of cool. And I also added these pillars, which is completely my idea. At the end of day 90, I harvested all my melons and pumpkins and added more traders into my hall. From day 91 to 97, I set out on a journey. I have a very limited supply of fireworks since I don't have any sugarcane and paper, but this time I wanted to change that. Surprisingly, when I fought this drowned with a trident, it actually dropped one, which is always a bonus. I knew that there was a small chance that I would find an island that had sugarcane on it. However, I wasn't expecting anything. This would have been extremely rare, and I set out for many days. But I found one semi-large island, but it didn't look like it had sugarcane on it. However, when I went around the back, look what I found. I was literally so thrilled at this point, and I was not expecting to find sugarcane at all. I flew back to my base with my fireworks because I didn't really care, because I was gonna have an unlimited supply of paper. But I needed to finish these days off in style. Therefore, I made a pretty fancy sugarcane farm. Well, it's fancy for my standards at least. Looking very nice. Since some cats spawned, I decided to tame one of them, and eventually it worked. I named this guy Kiko. I think he suited the name, and he really liked sitting on my bed because he's a cat. It makes sense. The sugarcane farm wasn't very efficient, but I was gonna work on that. But now that we technically have the village, we completed all of the challenges, and this is gonna wrap up the 100 days. Thank you so much for making it till the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.